We are going to spend a lot of time on Gossip Corner today, I'll tell you. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. The White House skipped the annual holiday parties because of COVID and because Joe Biden goes to sleep at 4 p.m. Thank you, Jimmy Kimmel, for that joke. Fallon, the White House announced due to COVID concerns that instead of the traditional holiday parties, Joe Biden invited guests to come see the decorations on a 30-minute self-guided tour, which is a fancy way of Biden saying, come if you want, but I ain't going to be there. Fallon, that's right, a self-guided tour of a historic Washington building. That's basically how Fox News described January 6th. Wow, that just wins. Should we even bother continuing? Seth Meyers, the DNC held its annual holiday party outside of the Hotel Washington due to the spread of the Omicron variant. Meanwhile, the Republican holiday party added more mistletoe. All right, pretty good, Seth. Biden attended the DNC's annual holiday party and gave a 10-minute speech in just under an hour. Wow, these are really good. Over in the UK, TV channel Gold runs an annual competition for the best topical Christmas cracker gag. I've been holding on to this thinking I would need holiday filler, but there's been so much news, so let's just clear it out. These are pretty good. The winning quip. Why are people cutting back on Brussels sprouts this Christmas? The cost of gas is too high. That is a groaner. That came from Craig Rogers from Manchester. He wins £1,500 towards a holiday, a festive hamper, and a box of gold Christmas crackers. Would you like to hear the full 20? Of course you would. Why is Christmas dinner vegan this year? Because turkey's on the red list and vegetables are all green. Awful. Why won't Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson see each other this Christmas? They all want space. These are bad. I have to skip some of these or you're going to leave my podcast. How do you know the heating bill for December's too high? Dad won't even let you open the windows on your advent calendar. Kind of like that one. Why does Christmas Scrabble take so long with Boris Johnson? He keeps going back on his word. All right. Moving on, Louis C.K. did indeed put out a special. It is called Sorry. It is available on his website for $10. He's also selling merch, which we'll talk about in a second. This from Decider. Louis put out an email announcement. He flipped back and forth between sincerity and silliness in the email announcement. Louis said, I am very proud of the show, and I feel confident that you will laugh 14 or more times during it. It is so far my favorite show that I've personally generated. I have not seen the full special. I saw a 6-minute clip, which I shared with you on the Facebook group, Daily Comedy News Podcast group on your Facebook. The 6-minute clip that I watched, I thought it was pretty funny. As I wrote in my post, and as I say in my personal life, many things can be true. Louis C.K. has done some awful things. He also wrote some funny jokes, apparently, for this new special. Both can be true. Decider writes, after an opening shocker reminiscent of the late George Carlin HBO specials, whoa, high praise, tap the brakes. CK reveals his favorite sexual position, then asks, are you picturing it? There's a sizable chunk wondering what to do about pedophiles, a new way to see James Bond movies, a demonstration of what's wrong with America by having a fat woman go to the zoo for an MRI, other topics, trends in overseas baby adoptions, and finally, Louis' musings on death and gender fluidity. Decider says, our take, the comedian remains a filmmaker at heart, and his cinematic flair comes right through from the opening credit, along with a bit-on-the-nose entrance music by walking out to Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. Meaning, how does it feel to no longer talk so loud or seem so proud? Decider writes, it's not entirely clear, judging by how we judge such things. After all, Louis is neither persona non grata or even persona non Grammy following his current nomination for Sincerely Louis C.K. So you can't call him canceled, not even a pariah, because he's far from an outcast even within comedy circles. Several big-name comedians pimped out his special Saturday over social media. Perhaps you could say he was disgraced, although that term doesn't quite jibe with the thousands of fans who still cheer him on every step of the way. Meanwhile, the New York Post writes, Louis C.K.'s Sorry act is no laughing matter to some social media watchdogs. Many fans argue that his return is a testament to the fact that cancel culture is not real, as long as the accused lay low for long enough. One suggested, at most, there seems to be a hiatus culture. I like that term. Let's use it. Where disgraced and disgusting men like Louis C.K. or Mel Gibson disappear for a short time, then pop right back up like nothing ever happened. Another pointed out that Louis is selling Sorry swag. That caught my eye when I went to his website. He's selling t-shirts with Sorry on it. A Twitter critic wrote, according to the Post, so Louis C.K. has a new special out, Sorry, that he's selling online. An ad ran during SNL, quit whining about cancel culture because it's a myth. Another said, I see the dastardly cancel culture struck again, forcing Louis C.K. to film another special and NBC to advertise it. TMZ jumps in on that subject, pointing out the ad ran at about the 10-minute mark into the broadcast. That was the weird We Tried a Saturday Night Live episode. I did a bonus episode about that episode. Used episode a lot in that sentence. Sunday morning, if you missed that. The spot runs for 30 seconds. It features the song Louie Louie by the Kingsmen. TMZ writes, the special isn't airing or being sold anywhere beside his own online presence, so folks definitely have to go out of their way to buy and watch it, but still, people are pretty ticked that he's attempting to resurface at all, let alone with an assist from NBC. Of course, SNL probably has no say over the placement of the ad. That's a whole other department handling that, but the idea NBC was cool with taking Louis' money at all seems to be what is irking the Twitter crowd. I wonder if Lauren has any say on what airs during SNL. Probably not, but not inconceivable that he does 40-something years into his tenure. Now let's go spend a fair amount of time on Gossip Corner. From PageSix, did you catch over the weekend? I dropped it into the 2 bonus episodes. Melanie and Olivia Munn had a baby boy. Apparently the baby was born right around Thanksgiving. Melanie and Munn good at keeping it a secret, but that's not what PageSix wrote about. PageSix says Melanie Tendler, John Mulaney's ex-wife, appeared to shade her estranged husband, John Mulaney, after he welcomed a son with Olivia Munn. Tendler posted a photo of herself to Instagram, sitting in front of a mirror, as she donned a long, colorful frock with the caption, Norman effing Rockwell. PageSix speculates her caption could be referencing the title of Lana Del Rey's 6th studio album, where the title song includes the lyrics, Goddamn man-child, you effed me so good that I almost thought I loved you. Wow, we are reading deep into Instagram posts. Tendler's cryptic post was the second time she's taken to social media since Mulaney secretly welcomed a baby boy with his girlfriend Munn last month. Some comments on the picture. It's just what they do, sis. A second person wrote, another piece to analyze every pixel of. I agree there. PageSix reminds us of the official timeline. Mulaney started dating Munn earlier this year. He filed for divorce from Tendler in July. And let's see, if the baby was born in November, I'm not good at math. That to me would mean, assuming a traditional 9-month baby gestation period, that this baby was conceived in March, filed for divorce in July. But let's spend some more time on Gossip Corner. Did you see Pete Davidson took his girlfriend, Kim Kardashian? These are 2 high-profile people. He took her to a theater on Staten Island, like a regular theater, like where you and I would go see Spider-Man. You walk in, there's Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian. And the funny thing is, as famous as Kim is, I'd probably recognize Pete Davidson first just because of the current color of his hair. He kind of stands out. Kim Kardashian can probably blend in on Staten Island, but Pete Davidson, the king of Staten Island, he looks like Pete Davidson. You'd be like, oh my God, it's Pete Davidson. Who's that with him? Oh, her. They apparently also ate at Angelina's Ristorante on Saturday. I'm sure that place is getting a nice bump in business. The restaurant's owner captioned a selfie he snapped with the couple. He posted that on Instagram. Vincent Malerba wrote, thank you, Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson, some other people for having dinner at Angelina's last night. Truly great to serve. Come back anytime. Pete Davidson, sporting a cozy jacket over a green t-shirt, stuck out his tongue and threw up a peace sign. Kardashian bundled up in a black coat and face mask. They also went to the movies. They arrived around 7 o'clock, an eyewitness told PageSix. I saw a different social media post that suggested that Pete had a backpack with him. Did Pete sneak snacks into the theater? That's awesome. A source told People magazine last month that Pete Davidson has been flying back and forth from New York to LA to see Kim Kardashian. He's so into her, and is always my girl this and my girl that. He's exactly what Kim needed after her divorce from Kanye. Someone to make her laugh and just have a fun time with. The end of her marriage was a very dark time for her, and Pete has been the best antidote. Kim and Pete are reportedly planning to spend some of the holidays together, with Pete Davidson being invited to Kris Jenner's annual Christmas party. Hey, I'll take all the content I can get. There are also plans for Kardashian to travel to Florida, where Pete Davidson is co-hosting Miley's New Year's Eve party with Miley Cyrus. That's the name of the show, I'm not being silly. A source told E! News, Kim's really excited about having him around, and Kris is already obsessed with him. The whole family is a fan of Pete's and would love to spend a holiday with him. Kim and Pete have many upcoming plans, Things are going really well. She's even considered going to support him in Miami for New Year's. He's told her he'd love for her to be there. But wait, there's more. What do we make of this? Also from PageSix, Miley Cyrus and Pete Davidson spent some quality time together following the taping of their Jimmy Fallon appearance. A source told PageSix Miley Cyrus's SUV was seen pulling into the garage of Pete Davidson's Staten Island condo. They left NBC around 8:30 and arrived at Pete's around 9:40. Reps for Cyrus and Pete Davidson did not return requests for comment. Pete and Miley recorded some promos for the New Year's Eve show, which I'm looking forward to. In the promo, Pete says, as long as I remember to show up. Miley, I don't love that joke. You're going to show up. Pete, yeah, for sure. Pete added, I'm going to ride a dragon through the roof. No, you're not. Absolutely, right through the roof. We're not doing the robot dragon, but it's our show. It would be so sick. Pretty busy for this close to Christmas, right? I have two questions for you. One, have you ever seen Bob's Burgers? The answer is no. The second question is, where were you on January 6th? Well, from Deadline, Jay Johnston, who voiced Bob Belcher's business rival Jimmy Pesto in 43 episodes of this supposed Bob's Burgers television show that you people claim exists. Jay Johnston has been, quote, sidelined from the Fox animated series. Why? Due to his alleged involvement in the January 6th Capitol riot, the Daily Beast reported, while any possible involvement of Johnston in the events of the 6th is unclear, he's allegedly seen in multiple photos captured in the scene last year by the FBI. Good thing for him, Bob's Burgers doesn't exist. Busy day on the Gossip Corner, man. Today's Daily Comedy News brought to you by All Pro Lines. That's my Tuesday go-to football meets comedy podcast that I listen to. Kostaki Economopoulos and Aaron Hodges are your hosts. They combine football and jokes. Every week when I record the podcast, I go to their Twitter account, which is also called All Pro Lines, and I steal some jokes from them. You ready? From All Pro Lines, Big Ben Roethlisberger eclipsed Phillip Rivers for 5th place in all-time passing yards. In unwanted passes, Ben is still number 1. That's a good joke. If you don't get it, do some research on Ben Roethlisberger, and you'll be like, oh my. Moving on, the Lions beat the Cardinals. All Pro Line suggests take a page from the Catholic Church. No matter how shameful it is, Cardinals can just move to another city and get back to work. And they remind us this week several teams are jockeying for playoff buys and seeds, or as the Jaguars call that, fantasy football. It's All Pro Lines. Imagine those jokes told properly by a professional comedian, Kostaki Economopoulos, with Aaron Hodges riding shotgun with some football knowledge. All Pro Lines, wherever you get your shows. Spotify has allowed reviews. You know what to do. You're going to go to Spotify. You're going to type in Daily Comedy News, and you're going to 5-star this thing, aren't you? Yes, you are. We're getting along here. I'm going to bounce a story. Should I tell you about a murderer's conversation with Jeff Ross? That seems a little heavy. Let's skip down to Vulture's comedians you should know. On their list, Chris Estrada. Hey, Chris Estrada, if there were a 90s-style sitcom built around you and your material, in which you had a different job than comedian, what would the title and logline be? Chris Estrada told a Vulture, The Warehouse Diaries, about a miserable guy who works at a warehouse that takes too many bathroom breaks. What's the best comedy advice and the worst comedy advice you ever received, Chris Estrada? Best. Make sure you wash your butts every day before you go to do comedy. That way you feel clean and funny on stage. I guess that's good advice. Worst advice I ever got was, don't wash your butt every day. Tell us one story from your childhood that's a good representation of your life. Chris Estrada said, when I was 11, I got robbed at gunpoint in a comic book store with my friend Hector. There used to be a comic book shop called CBC on West Boulevard, which is the border between South Central and Inglewood. We were there buying comic books when a gang member comes in with a gun and makes the cashier empty out the cash register, robs Hector and I, then starts yelling at the store clerk to take the valuable Incredible Hulk from the display case and give it to him. Chris Estrada, if you had the power to remove anything from the comedy world right now, what would it be? He said, profoundness in stand-up comedy. Love that answer. And that is your daily comedy news for today. All right, go to Spotify today. Today we're going to Spotify and we're doing 5 stars. You hear me? Every other day, you can get the show wherever you want. Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Pandora, Google Podcasts. But today, Spotify, 5 stars. Do it. See you tomorrow.